Hi guys, sorry about the delay. I hope I'm audible and visible, and I welcome you to the official CLAT channel of Careers Adda. Okay, just give me a second and let me know if my audio is clear. Am I audible to all of you? Am I visible to all of you? Am I audible? Am I visible? Okay. Hi, Anshika. Good evening. Hello, Shreshi. Good evening. Good evening, all of you. Good evening. So, today we are going to we are going to attempt some questions based on inference. What is inference? Inference जो है, it is similar to your conclusion. ठीक है? However, the similarity just remains on the fact that you can find the information from the passage, right? लेकिन inference जो है, that is your understanding from the passage. ठीक है? Fine. So जो inference है, that is going to be your understanding from the passage. So conclusion क्या था? What the author wants you to believe. What is author trying to make sure that you believe, right? So what is the author's effort? ठीक है? तो वो क्या लिख रहा है अपने argument में, उसके argument के अंदर जो है वो क्या ऐसी चीज है जो वो तुमसे बिलीव करवाने की कोशिश कर रहा है. दैट इज कंक्लूजन. इन्फ्रेंस इज व्हाट यू अंडरस्टैंड, व्हाट यू नो फॉर श्योर, with 100% श्योरिटी, दैट इज गिवन इन द पैसेज वुड बी योर इन्फ्रेंस. ठीक है? क्या मैम ही ममता बनर्जी या निर्मला ताई है? फ्लैट जोक. I didn't like it. Okay, fine. Chaliye. So the question number 1 is on your screen, and as you can see, we were discussing about how inference is going to be your understanding from the passage. So this is question number 1, everybody. We're going to do 15 questions today, some longer passages, some shorter passages. I'm going to try, so today the length of the passages has increased. In the next class, we're going to try that your options will be closely related, right? So today, we're going to try to read a little more. Tomorrow, we'll increase our accuracy based on the closeness or the interrelationness of the options. ठीक है जी? फाइन. मैम आपने नहीं भेजी थी पीडीएफ, मैंने वेट किया था. कौन सी पीडीएफ मैंने भेजी है भाई? कहाँ नहीं भेजी मैंने पीडीएफ? विच पीडीएफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट? विच पीडीएफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट? विच पीडीएफ श्रेयसी? आई एम सॉरी. दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई कुड हैव डन. दिस साउंड्स लाइक मी, बट विच पीडीएफ? डू लेट मी नो. मैं अभी टेलीग्राम ओपन कर रही हूँ. बताओ मुझे कौन सा पीडीएफ. I'll do it right away. Just let me know which PDF. Okay, in the meantime, let's read the passage. The passage says, a coastal town invested in a new seawall after several years of flooding. In the first monsoon, the wall prevented water from entering the residential areas. However, the fisherman complained that access to certain docking points became more difficult. The municipality promised to build new ramps, but said it would take time. The local businesses reported fewer flood-related closures than before. So this is the passage. Everybody. And the author is asking me that which inference most strongly is supported by the passage. Now, as we discussed earlier, that the inference is going to be, what is an inference? The inference is going to be something which is very, you're very sure about it, like you're 100% sure that this was something that I can infer from the passage. This is something that I can understand from the passage. For example, if somebody gave a statement and you are the lawyer or you are the advocate for somebody, so from that statement, what is that particular thing which is 100% true, that will remain 100% true, and you can prove that from the passage, something like that, right? So the first option says that seawall solved all problems faced by the town. Can I say seawall solved all the problems faced by the town? No, ma'am, I cannot say that, right? I can certainly say that the problem of flooding has obviously, in the first monsoon, the wall prevented the water from entering, right? And fisherman complained, so that was not a problem solved, that was a problem that occurred due to this, right? And municipality has promised something, so the first one is obviously not the inference. I'm not 100% sure that the sea wall solved all the problems. But can I say that I'm 100% sure that flood protection improved? Oh, it did. We just read that. Okay? In the first monsoon, the wall prevented water from entering the residential areas. Clearly, it improved the protection, right? But some groups faced new difficulties. Oh, this is something that happened. The fishermen clearly reported and complained that they had a problem. What problem? They did not get a good access to certain docking points, right? So the second one is something that I can infer from the passage for 100%, with 100% surety. Fishermen will stop working in the town. Clearly, this is not the inference. The municipality ignored the concern of the fishermen. Clearly, they did not ignore. They said they are going to build new ramps, but it would take some time. So option B is going to be the answer. Option B is going to be the answer. Fine. Ziddi girl says, आपको मेरा नाम याद है मैम. Ziddi girl. Sorry, नहीं यार, नहीं याद है. तुम ऐसा एकदम से टेस्ट लेने लग जाते हो ना जो मेरा आके, मेरे को वैसे नहीं याद रहते नाम. Sorry, नहीं याद है. Okay, question number 2, everybody. A university introduced compulsory attendance for first year students. Over the semester, average attendance increased and test scores improved slightly. Some students argued that the policy reduced their flexibility to pursue internships. The administration responded that the rule would be reviewed after 1 year. Faculty members noted better classroom discussions. So all this happened. Why? Because the university has introduced compulsory attendance for the first year students, right? Okay, let us see. Let us see. What can be reasonably inferred? Reasonably inferred. Okay. Okay, we have an answer. We have an answer. So Akshat, Shreyashi, Sudhir. So Siddhi, how would I know you're watching my recorded video, yaar? This is clearly not the inference that I got from your comment. I thought you maybe have mentioned your name to me, right? So this is a wrong inference. I cannot take that inference. Hi, Anshika. Okay, chalo. So we have, okay, so the question says that we need to find out what can be reasonably inferred. And the first option says that the policy only had negative effects. That's clearly not the case, right? Clearly, the test scores improved. Clearly, the average attendance increased. Clearly, clearly the faculty members noted better classroom discussion. So I cannot say it only had negative effects. The administration is unwilling to change the rule. Oh no, the administration said that the rule would be reviewed. They need some time of a year, right? So they need a year's time to review. So clearly option B is not going to be your answer. The policy produced academic benefits but raised concerns about flexibility. Okay. The policy produced academic benefits but raised concern about flexibility. So, academic benefits clearly, right? Why? Better scores, better attendance, better discussions, academic, benefits are there. What is the flexibility concern? Flexibility is that policy reduced the students' flexibility to pursue internships. So, clearly these are the concerns about flexibility. So, option C looks good to me. Let's check for the option D. Internships were completely banned by the university. Oh, the university never did that. All they did was they did a compulsory attendance for first year students. So option C is going to be your answer. Right? Hi, Mosum. Hello. Shweta. Oh, yeah. Shweta, now I remember. Now I remember you clearly. I think you were the first one when we started these series. You were the first ones who started attending these classes. Yes, Sweta, I remember your name now. Now I remember. Okay, okay. So question number 3, everybody. The question 3 passage says that a city shifted some bus routes to reduce congestion in the central market area. Okay. Initially, commuters were confused and complaints increased. Okay. After new signboards and a mobile app update, complaints declined. Traffic police reported smoother flow during peak hours. Shopkeepers, however, said some customer took longer to reach their stores. Which inference best fits the passage? Which inference best fits the passage? Okay, let us see. So the inference which best fits the passage would be route changes failed to reduce congestion. Oh, but the passage clearly says that the smoother flow was reported by the traffic police, right? So there was a report made by traffic police that there was smoother flow during the peak hours of what? Clearly traffic, right? So I cannot say option A is my answer. Communication played a role in improving public acceptance of the changes. Okay. What kind of communication? What kind of communication? I think the new signboards were a communication and a mobile app update was a communication, right? And based on this, the complaints decreased or declined, right? So we can say that this communication played a role in improving public acceptance. If somebody is confused and they're complaining and the other person is making efforts to learn about what problems they are facing, clearly then only if the complaints decline, that means something has shifted. So improving public acceptance of the changes happened. Why? Because there were new signboards and mobile app updates, right? How do we know that there is a improvement in the public acceptance? The complaints have declined, right? So I think option B is a very good inference that we can have. It is a one of the inference that can fit the passage, but let's see about option C. Shopkeepers benefit more than commuters. We cannot say that for sure because some shopkeepers, not some shopkeepers, however, said some customers took longer to reach. So we cannot say that they benefited, right? So option C is clearly not the answer. The mobile app caused the most of the initial confusion. Oh, we know that there was confusion. Okay, there was confusion among the commuters, but was it due to mobile app? We have no idea. So clearly option B is going to be your answer. Very good, guys. Very good. Very good. Okay. Question number 4, everybody. Question number 4. And again, as usual, the disclaimer, the level of question in CLAT is not going to be this easy. The options are going to be closely related, right? So we're going to do that in our future sessions. A publishing house decided to reprint several classic novels with modern cover designs. Sales increased among younger readers, but older readers preferred the original editions. The company kept both versions in circulation. Marketing data showed that overall revenue from these titles rose modestly. Okay? Editors said the experiment helped them understand shifting readers' tastes. Okay, I have no idea what is the answer. You guys tell me. Okay, you're already telling me. Okay, let us see whether your, so Wahida, hi Wahida, there's a new, you have just started answering. Anshika, okay. Fine, let us see. What is your answer? Take it. So, what is the most justified inference? Can I say modern covers alienated all older readers? Did it? It says older readers preferred the original editions. I cannot say it alienated all the older readers. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि भैया उनको बोला नहीं या फिर उन्होंने ऐसे बोला कि आज के बाद हम करेंगे ही नहीं कुछ बाय यहाँ से. So that has not happened. Clearly option A is not your justified inference. The company's strategy aimed to serve different reader groups. Clearly, they are talking about younger readers, they are talking about older readers, right? They kept both the versions in circulation, right? So they aim to serve different reader groups, right? And revenue from these titles rose modestly. That means, the strategy was to make sure that they're serving both the versions, or sorry, both the readers, even if they were younger or older, right? Editors said that the experiment helped them understand shifting reader tastes. So, company is clearly aimed to serve different reader groups. They are learning about their tastes. They are doing, they're keeping both the versions, the reprint of the classic novels with modern cover designs as well as the previous versions that was preferred by the older people. So clearly they are aiming to serve different reader groups. This is a very valid, justified inference, right? So classic novels are only popular because of their covers. First of all, they have not mentioned anything like that. And the other thing is, this is clearly very extreme inference. The reprints reduced overall revenue. Nobody said that the revenue was decreased or reduced. So they clearly told that the revenue from these titles rose modestly. That means there was a slight increase over there. So option B is going to be your answer. Very good, everybody. Very good. Question number 5. Question number 5, everybody. A district introduced rainwater harvesting in government buildings. In the first year, water bills dropped, groundwater levels showed slight improvement. Maintenance staff reported that some systems were clogged due to poor initial installation. After training sessions, system performance became more consistent. Officials called the program a learning process. Which inference is best supported? Which inference is best supported? Okay, we have an answer. We have an answer. Fair enough. Okay, so the inference which is best supported would be the program failed because of the technical issues. Nobody said it failed. Nobody said it failed. It clearly, mentions that Some systems were clogged due to poor initial installation and it became better after training, right? Officials called the program a learning process, so we cannot say the program failed, right? Then if I say that training and implementation quality affected the program success, yes. So there was initially poor installation, right? So implementation or installation, right? And then we also noted that after training this performance became more consistent. So clearly training and the implementation quality affected the program success is a good inference. We understood that from the passage. Rainwater harvesting has no impact, clearly not mentioned. Officials plan to stop, this is not mentioned, so option B is going to be your answer. Option B is going to be your answer. Yes, absolutely correct, Akshat. Brilliant. Question number 6, everybody. A tech firm encouraged employees to take short wellness breaks during work hours. Okay. Surveys showed reduced stress levels and slightly improved job satisfaction. However, some team leaders worried about meeting tight deadlines. After a trial period, the company adjusted schedules to protect core work hours. Productivity figures remained largely unchanged. Okay, which can be inferred from the passage. Which can be inferred from the passage. I think we can infer that wellness breaks significantly reduce productivity. Can we say that? Wellness breaks significantly reduce. But ma'am, the passage clearly says that when the tech firm encouraged the employees to take short wellness breaks, survey showed reduced stress levels and slightly improved job satisfaction, right? Some team leaders worried about meeting tight deadlines. After a trial period, the company adjusted schedules to protect core work hours. Productivity figure remains largely unchanged. So if there was no change, can I say it was significantly reduced? Clearly, I cannot say that. Clearly that would be would not be the inference that we get from the passage. Employee well-being was improved without major productivity lost. I think we just discussed that, so option B is going to be our answer, right? Team leaders opposed all forms? No. All they were worried about was meeting the tight deadlines, right? The policy was withdrawn? No, nobody said the policy was withdrawn. Clearly they said that after this they adjusted the schedules, right? Brilliant, everybody. Question number 7. A city library replaced some physical newspaper with digital subscriptions. Younger visitors use the digital versions more frequently, while the older visitors asked staff for help. Over time, training sessions were introduced. The library noted stable overall footfall. Budget reports showed savings on storage and delivery, not shortage, storage and delivery. Which inference is most reasonable? I think I think sometimes I try too much and I create questions, but the questions that I keep usually have the same option. I just don't know why. I just don't know why that happens. So, any which ways. The change drove older visitors away. No, it did not drive them away. Right? Digital access required support for some users. Yes, it did. Physical newspaper never popular. No, no, no. That it was not. This is not the inference. The library's footfall increased sharply. Did it increase sharply? No, they noted stable footfall. So there was no sharp change, right? So option B is going to be the answer. Okay, question number 8, everybody. A farming cooperative introduced a shared equipment system to reduce costs. Initially, scheduling conflicts caused delay during peak season. After setting up an online booking system, conflicts reduced. Farmers reported moderate savings by the end of the year. Some still preferred owning their own tools for urgent needs. What is the strongest inference? I can use some motivation as well, guys. Actually, to be very honest, yes. So the Akshat, Anshika, and then we have Basmeet in class, right? So all these people, they have good logical. Okay. Huh. So instead of praising me, you guys are making fun of my option choices. Okay, is that going? Is it you guys versus me now? Am I not part of the team anymore? No, not all answers are B. There were some option C's as well that I saw. Right? I think I give up like by I think option D tak to मेरे दिमाग कहता है, oh, let's just create a very simple one. And my brain says, oh, the scheme resulted in no financial benefit, which is clearly not the answer, right? By the time it is option D, I give up. Okay. The shared system always, shared system are always worse than private ownership. No, they're not always worse, right? The cooperative forced farmer to give up private tools. They never forced them, right? So organizational adjustment improved the effectiveness of the scheme. Option B is your answer. Is it coincidence? I think, I don't know. Is it coincidence? Pata nahi. But thank God I do not create your CLAT exam. Or you would say, acha chalo, ye to Ruhin ma'am ne banaya. A television channel shifted its prime time slot from entertainment shows to news debates. Okay. And viewership dipped initially but recovered after a few months. Advertisers returned once ratings stabilized. Critics argued that the debates had become repetitive. The channel nevertheless extended the format for another season. Batao. Which inference best follows? The channel ignored both viewers and advertisers? I don't think so. Ignored would be something very extreme. They did not ignore, right? Did they ignore, by the way? Can I say they ignored? Would that be a viable inference? No. Okay. The format proved commercially viable despite criticism. It did actually. It did, because the advertisers returned, right? So that means it was commercially viable, right? Because clearly once the rating stabilized, they came back, right? Entertainment shows are always more popular than news debates. I want to say option C. Can I not say option C? Will it not be option C? Ma'am, C. You're saying which inference best follows. So when the channel shifted from entertainment to news, I can say entertainment shows are more popular, but I cannot say they are always more popular. I cannot say that they are always, ठीक है, more popular. Okay, I'll come back to your doubt later, drops. I'll come back to your doubt. Okay, okay. So because of always, I cannot say this is true. Viewership never recovered. Arey, this never happened. So option B would be the answer. So later drops. Later drop says मैम CR का strategy क्या रखे? देखो सबसे पहली चीज, you said your reading speed is good, which mostly answers the question. ठीक है, your reading speed should be good. Now not just speed, you should know कि जब आप क्वेश्चन पढ़ते हैं तो आपको क्या देखना है यहाँ पे, what exactly is required. So when I say inference, my brain automatically shifts on this mode. Oh, what do I understand from this passage? ठीक है, and instead of searching, what I do is I look at the options and I ask myself the question, oh, do I understand that the channel ignored both viewers and advertisers? No, this is not something that I understood. So instead of searching what I understood, I look at the options. So this is my strategy, right? And there are some people who are very avid readers. They read and they understand the context, the inference, the conclusion, the argument very nicely. So if you are one of the persons and you have reached that point of amiable reading habits, तो आप क्या कर सकते हो, while before reading the passage I would insist कि आप एक बारी question follow कर लो. ठीक है, fine. ठीक है, so that is something that you can do. That is something that you can do. For example, there will be some closely placed options, but things like this will always give away. अक्षत इतना मजाक भी नहीं उड़ाना है भाई, इतना मजाक भी नहीं उड़ाना है. ठीक है, Akshat is like, by this time I'm sure ma'am's brain has given up. Now she has done what she always does. चलो कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. A municipal corporation started segregating waste at the source. In the first few months, collection staff reported more workload due to sorting errors by household. Awareness campaigns were then launched. Gradually, the quality of segregation improved and the recycling rates increased. Officials described the transition as a necessary but demanding. Not as a necessary. Officials described the transition as necessary but demanding. ठीक है? Okay. Okay. So, can I say that the most justified inference would be public awareness was crucial to improve the policy outcomes? Clearly, option B is your answer, right? Policy was never abandoned, right? The waste segregation improved recycling rates, not reduced. Household refused to cooperate. No, it never happened. The only problem was there was sorting errors. ठीक है? चलिए. There you go. Question number 11, everybody. A private school introduced tablets for classroom learning. The students were enthusiastic at first, but some teachers struggled to adapt their lesson plans. Training workshops were organized over the summer. In the next term, classes ran more smoothly and technical issues reduced. Parents reported mixed views about the screen time. Which inference is best supported? And don't you dare. Okay. Okay, everybody. Okay, let us see. So I think technology made teaching impossible. No, there were few teachers who struggled, right? It was not impossible. Parents opposed the use of tablets. No, there were mixed views about the screen time. They never opposed the use of tablets. Students lost interest in learning because of the tablets. No, no, it was due to the struggles of the teachers, right? They were not very enthusiastic afterwards. Teacher training played a role. Of course it did. And option B is your answer. Question number 12, everybody. A city introduced a congestion charge for vehicles entering a central business district. Traffic volumes fell slightly while public transport usage increased. Some businesses complained about fewer customers in the short term, right? A year later, air quality indicators showed modest improvement. The policy is now being reviewed for possible adjustment. What can be reasonably inferred? The policy had no effect on traffic or pollution. The policy had no effect on traffic or pollution. No, it had a modest, it showed a modest improvement, right? So we cannot say this is correct. Public transport usage decreased after the policy. No, it basically increased, right? The policy will definitely be withdrawn. We have no idea. They said they'll review it, right? So option B is going to be your answer. The policy involved trade-offs between environmental goals and business concerns. Clearly because business people were saying that they had a problem, right? Chalo. So that is it from my side. I hope you guys, learned something about inferences today, right? And clearly the passages will be longer, right? And your options are going to be closely related. So tomorrow when we do, not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow when we do a class, we're going to try to make sure that the options are closely related. Okay? So I hope it was fun for you guys. Let us meet the day after and solve some more questions. I hope this was fun. This is me, 𝐂𝐻𝐷 Kaur, signing off. And अगर आपको कोई भी help की ज़रूरत है, you can join our new Careers Adda app, or for admission and counseling, you can call on the number that is shown below, that is 084489802447. Right? चलिए मिलते हैं next class में. Till then, please take care of yourself. Bye bye everybody. Take care.